Hello everyone, it's Anne from Curious Moon Design. But today I'm going to run through how I made these beautiful envelopes that can be added to your journals. So stay with me and I'll just go through the process. Well, as with everything, we start with the basics. So a window envelope, they come in all shapes and sizes, and what I do to start with is to carefully unravel it, and they usually come, I mean, if you rip a little bit it won't matter because you're going to be covering it. And then sort of have a think about what you're going to do with it, if you're just going to have it as an envelope, or you might want to use it as a journal cover, which I'll do in another video. There are lots of people showing you how you can do these things on YouTube, so if you want to make, sometimes I want a smaller one and I haven't got a smaller envelope, you know, if this one's too big. So what I do is just cut it down and adapt it, and this one I've stuck on side pieces. I just copied the bit that was on there and then just stuck those on just to make it a bit smaller. So for this one you could use it as a little mini journal cover. So what I'm going to do with this one is just start sticking scraps of paper on it, just as a base, just to cover up the white, and I would go all around the edge of the window first and then build out. You can put all sorts, I mean, you could use coloured papers, pieces from magazines, if you just want a collaged envelope. So just build out from there, and so I'll do that off camera, and then when we come back we'll tackle the back. So that's that completely covered, and I've gone over the edges on here. So what I'm going to do now is just cut around so that I've got, because I'm going to be covering the back now, but I want to make sure I can see where the envelope is. So I'll cut around all these edges. And then when I've done that, I'll come back and we'll cover the back. So that's all the edges cut. So now you have to think about what you're going to want to decorate it with, because that would then affect how you're going to decorate the back of the envelope, because if you use it as an envelope, parts of it will show, so it's quite nice to have it covered, or if you're using it as a journal then it's going to show. So for this one I think I am going to use it in my sewing journal again, so I may cut out one of these images that we have in our sewing ephemera pack, because I think that will be quite nice on there. But equally you could just cut out images from a book. That would look lovely. Or a mushroom. even a nice green leaf would look lovely. So there are lots of options for you. So if you're not sure what you're going to want to use it for, then it's best to put some sort of brown paper on, or just, you know, plain paper, or just a colour. You could just paint it. The other thing I've done with mine, with this one, is I put a layer of napkin decoupage on it. So I've got this one ready if I wanted to use this one, and I've just taken it down to the one thickness, and I would just use PVA glue with a little bit of water, and that would make a lovely envelope too. I probably will do that one as well. So if I use that, for instance, then I might just pick one of the colours from here. See if I've got something. Yes, I've got a pack of tissue paper, so that would go quite nicely with that. So I could use that and just paste it on the back, and then when it closed up with this, it would look rather nice. So I may do that one as well, but I'll do that off camera and put some photographs on Instagram to show you how it turned out. But for this one, I'm going to use just a plain brown paper, or I might use some of my lining paper just to cover the back. When I've done that, I'll come back and show you. I'm going to cut around here now. I've just put pages from the sewing book that I'm using, and I was just mindful of where the I can't find the bend now, but I think it's somewhere around here. But anyway, I lined it up so that this piece is going to show, and I'm just going to put some brown ink over that, just so that it darkens it a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll look at decorating it. Okay, well, I've folded it all up and inked around. Now, because it's going to be in my sewing journal, I think I'm going to place some I'm going to have that on the front. I'll probably stick that on some card just to bring it up a little bit, but I'm considering putting some fabric on there as well. Something like that. That's introducing another colour. Maybe something plain like that. And I could stitch that on. The other thing I thought about putting some ribbon. I've got this tape measure ribbon that I use in my needle books. I could put that around. But I think because it's not stuck yet, I'm going to stitch around here with some zigzag. And you could easily do that by hand, or you could just paint on stitches if you didn't have a sewing machine. For the back, I'm considering putting a little pocket on. I could use some fabric, and I could put some lace along here. The possibilities are endless. The other thing you can do when it's all finished is you could put a PVA layer on top just to give it a little bit of a sheen. Some people would say, well, why have I put the paper all across there, because you're only going to see a little bit of it, but it does add a layer of thickness and protection, so it just makes it a little bit more thicker. Okay, so I'm going to go away and stitch around here, and decide on whether I'm going to put some fabric on here as well. And then again, I could stitch around here to close it. And this would make a fabulous journal cover. So endless possibilities with it. So when I've fiddled around, I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so I've added this picture to 2 pieces of fabric, and then I've stitched around the edges. I put some backing paper on because I want to stick it to the envelope. I thought it would make it easier. So I'm just going to trim back that, and then trim this a little bit so that it fits on there nicely. And then it's just a matter of adding some extra bits, so I may put that on. There's some stamps here, Canada, USA and New Zealand, that I've got in my pack, and they look very nice, so they could go on. So you can see I've stitched around the edges of the envelope, and then I put a pocket on the back when it was all open, so it was easier to sew on, and some measuring tape ribbon, so that's a little extra. So you can go on and on embellishing and adding layers. I'm really pleased with this one. I'm just going to trim this up, stick it on, and then we'll see it at the end. Well, we're almost there. I've stuck the picture on. I just can't decide what to put in this corner, or whether to have that or nothing. I think I need to go and have a cup of coffee and then come back, because I'm wondering whether to stick that inside or to have a name up there. So I think until I get it into my sewing journal, I won't really know. So I'll leave those off for now. But that's all finished now, and all ready for tags and ephemera to go in there. So we'll put it with the other ones. This is another one that I'm going to put in the sewing journal. Got a little pocket on the front of that one. And I'm going to make the one with the tissue, but I'll put the picture of that on Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed watching me make that, and I hope it's inspired you to go away and make some of your own. Please let me know if you do. I'd love to see the photos. and join me again next time. Please press the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time for another crafting session. Bye for now.